everybody, and welcome to the Limited Adhesion. Tonight, we're at Imola for round 5 of the Club 1500 Championship. Dom, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. We had a nice little break with missing the Bathurst round, so I went on a bit of a cruise around the Northern Hemisphere. It was fantastic. I think the best part was finishing the port of Hull, classic port of Yorkshire.
Yeah, we did have a little break between the races. Nice to be back. Taking a look at the championship standings, and it's Molarin on top for QRS with 242 points, followed by the Wizards, chasing him down of Gareth and Roberto on 178 and 173. And we've got Dano in 4th place, 162 points for him, Chris Forrester, 155, and Dan Hill rounding out the top 6 on 132. With Rich also tied, so tied for 6th place there, all looking quite close.
Yeah, it's super close throughout the field there, and there's lots of little battles shaping up. It should be another good round that we're heading into here. Yeah,
just looking at it though, Sam Stott down in P10 only on 86 points. I think he's had a few issues, so hopefully he can rectify it here at Imola. Let's see how he gets on. He loves this track. Obviously, Aqua Minerale, his favourite corner on the track, of course.
Some say it's the only corner he knows.
I've heard that rumour. I wonder if it's true. Let's see if he can negotiate this successfully. Looking at the team's championship standings, it's the Wizards on top on 351, followed by QRS. That's looking out to be a really close one. Let's see what they can do. Gareth and Roberto versus Sam and Ture.
Yeah, I think Sam's sort of weaker performance, like we said in the championships, really kind of letting QRS down at the minute. I think going into the championship this season, we expected Sam and Ture to just run away and QRS as a whole to just absolutely smurf the championship, but it's not turned out that way.
Yeah, we did. Just looking at the practice there, top 3 within a second. Should be a really close race. Let's see what happens here. And here's the quali results. Do you want to run us through the starting order, please?
So Mr. Winslade takes the pole position for the Wizards there from Sam Stott. We've just been playing him down through the championship, but he's put on 2nd place from James Carter in 3rd. Dan Hill in 4th and Ture Molarin down in 5th. That's a surprise to me heading into this one. Roberto is a 2nd and a half down off pole position there in 6th, with Joe Barlow 7th and Chris Forrester there just following. Here they are again in grid form. So Eric Piussi, new sorry Eric for that pronunciation, new championship driver for this round, and Chris Wight ran at top 10. Then Rich Meester's 11th from Jason Weaver returning to the championship in P12.
Should be a good one then. Welcome to Eric, and nice to see Jason returning. Oh, and Stephen Koenig returning after his last race at Silverstone. Nice, we've got 13 cars in the grid, even better. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be a really good one.
Yeah.
Quite a large gap.
No time for Stephen there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They look good on the grid, don't they? They do look good lined up.
They do indeed. Here we go. Watching for the lights. Engine starting to rise, and lights out and away we go. Heading towards Tamburello for the first time. With Gareth away in the lead. Sam Stott alongside him. Let's see if they can negotiate Tamburello successfully. It's all good at the moment.
Rich just dropping down a couple of positions there.
Yeah, let's see what Ture can do. Is he going to go for it on Dan? He has indeed. That's Molarin all the way up to 3rd already from 6th on the grid. And who's that wide? That's Stott. That's Stott clipping the grass on the outside there.
That's a nightmare for Stott. He's finally got himself a good a good qualifying position, but then...
Ooh, sorry to interrupt there. That was very close to Dan. Oh, I thought it's contact there.
Very close. Don't want to making contact in these open wheelers, of course.
Absolutely not.
As they go through the corner before Aqua Minerale. Sam redeems a position there.
Yeah, I think they took an off track there. It's really strict on the off track. It's only 12x to play with throughout the whole race. So you got to be nice and careful. But who's
a slowdown out there as well, isn't there?
That's Stott again. Stott off the track. That'll be 2x for him. He's got to be careful. Only got 10x to spare.
Whew, crikey, as we head towards the corner after Aqua Minerale. And
oh no, and that's Dan on straight on. And contact. Oh, that's Roberto. Oh, that's a shame.
Roberto in a non-Wizards livery tonight as well.
Yeah, very unusual. Don't recognise him. He hasn't got the Wizards power.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Very nice livery. But that was Dan going straight on there, so a few issues there. But that's allowed the top 2 to pull away.
Yeah,
look at the gap, 5 seconds. Wow.
See Stott trying to make a redemption after his little 2 excursions on the first lap there.
Yeah, mid-pack across the line now, but the top 2 have just blasted away. can see the gap on the track map. Unbelievable. They've already gone through Tamburello, and these guys are just entering it.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys have been the ones to beat from sort of from the middle of the championship onwards. It's become pretty clear that it's sort of Gareth versus Ture, race by race.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that one. Looking at Chris Forrester here, chasing down James.
So they all get through nice and clean this time, thankfully. Heading into Tozer.
Thankfully.
Same thing, look at Ture and Gareth. Is it Piratella at the top of the hill here? They're just exiting as the rest of the team are just going in.
It's very wide. Oh. Yeah, no, honestly, just looking at the track map, that's just phenomenal after one lap. Incredible stuff.
We might be looking at potentially some of the guys being lapped before the pit stop in this one.
Let's see what happens here.
Rich looks to be slow on track as well there. Rich Meesters is just getting back up to pace now, can see on the track map.
Here you go, James chasing down Dan. Stott seems to be pulling away now. I think he's regrouped, reset, and he's going to try and chase down the top two. Let's see what he can do.
Well, am I right in saying Stott's not raced any of the LOA championships for a few weeks, so maybe sort of out of practice with these cold F3 tyres, just pushed a bit too hard on the opening laps on the ice blocks.
For Winslade there. 40.3. Oh no, and then Stott says thank you very much, I'll have that fastest lap point. 39.9 for Stott, so he's on a charge, he's on a mission. I think Molarin's had a bit of a difficult lap there. He did a 42, that's a couple of seconds off.
Yeah, and that's allowing Winslade to pull away there. That must have been an off track with a lap time like that. Oh, is that Dan Chris Forrester maybe dropping down the order?
That was Chris Forrester, well spotted there.
Didn't actually see the mistake, just saw him off track of course.
Couldn't really see him, he was hiding in the shadows with the Links Africa special.
Absolutely. Gone to hide in the bushes like he's a dodgy bloke.
No more needs to be said on that, thank you very much. Right, Koenig from the back of the grid, he's up to P8, he's doing well.
Yeah, the world's fastest backmarker doing a good job.
World's fastest backmarker, that's a very proud statement. I'd love to have that title.
Got Chris Wight putting the pressure onto him as we head into the mineral water turn.
As we switch to Dan and James battling for 4th place. Oh, you can see Dan twitchy putting the throttle down. He was gunning to get away there. Almost snapped it.
So easy to do coming out of that chicane, isn't it? So easy to do.
Especially if you just, you can't take it like an F1 car and fully send it over the bumps. It doesn't quite work.
Jason Weaver's stopped on track there in the chicane.
That's unfortunate. Fast lap for Winslade, which is snatched immediately by Molarin. 38.4. So he's closing the gap now. He's got about 2.5 seconds to find. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, duking it out for the fastest laps there, aren't they?
They are indeed. I'm sure that as the fuel burns down, they'll be going even quicker. Let's see what they can manage.
As we see them just exiting the corner at the opposite side of the track.
Lap. So, it's an extra point. A point for putting it on pole. So that's 1 point to Winslade because obviously he got it on pole. So let's see if he can do the Grand Slam. Let's see. That would be a clean sweep.
Yeah, it'd be good for the bragging rights, wouldn't it? Definitely.
It absolutely would. Yeah, you're right.
So Ture just closing that gap a little bit through this lap.
Yes, it's almost down to 2 seconds now.
Potentially Winslade just driving a bit more cautious, keeping it on track, or a potential mistake, what do you reckon?
Well, the gap seems to be ebbing and flowing about 2 to 2.2 seconds, so I guess he's just trying to find his rhythm. Obviously, I think the track temp is quite hot in this session, and you've got to be super careful to, not light it up and just get into a groove. Just if you can run consistent lap times, consistency is key.
Yeah, speaking of, that looked like Chris Wight getting a bit squirrely coming out of Aqua Minerale there.
We've got a replay here. This is what happened to Jason. Ooh.
So he's to get that twitch through the right-hander, and then it just sets you up all wrong for the left of that chicane there.
Kept it out of the walls though, that's the main thing, and he's on his merry way again. Now the fastest lap for Molarin, 38.1. Going to be in the 37s sooner or later.
Great move from Chris Wight around the outside there, but why is Dan Hill all the way down the order? He was in 4th, wasn't he, Dan Hill?
He was. I wonder if he's made a mistake. Has he clipped the grass?
I think he might have had a slowdown through the chicane. Yeah, I think that's a slowdown.
Could have got a slowdown. Yeah, that's a good spot. As we see Roberto and Dan battling it out, heading towards Tamburello. Let's see, last of the late breakers. Roberto's going to hold it around the outside. What a move!
That is fantastic. Mega. Great job. Really good confidence on the brakes there, heading into the chicane.
Absolutely. But now they're going to be side by side. Let's see. Dan's got the inside here. Oh, giving each other just enough space.
Outside.
Roberto holds on. Well done. Superb driving here. Dan next to the outside. Let's see what he can do. That's a brave move.
Winslade's in the pits.
What? Whoa. What on earth has happened there?
Winslade must have
towed. Too focused in this battle. Oh dear. I can't believe it. Dan sends it on the inside. Oh, forces Roberto wide. And Roberto holds on, taking the off track there. He's a little bit wide. A little bit wide through Toaster there.
I think potentially Dan just seeded that after the little bit of contact.
Yeah.
I think he knew it sort of maybe forced him off the track just a little bit there, so just kind of backed out.
But what on earth has happened to Gareth Winslade? Here we go. I think we're about to find out. Let's see. No, this is with Dan. What's he done?
Oh, he looped it. It wasn't a slowdown.
You predicted it. It was going to be something in the chicane.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh. That's really easy to do. Just lighting up. We could see he was twitchy before, but this is Winslade. What's he done? He's in the gravel.
Oh, it's the Villeneuve.
I don't believe it. He's hit the wall. Oh, dear. That's heartbreaking. What a shame.
From the lead with a massive gap as well.
Ah, so easy to do, though. If you just run slightly wide and just clip that little bit of dirt, it's game over. But that is a QRS 1-2 at the moment.
So that's Winslade a lap down as well. And probably too early to be able to fill it up to get home, so we'll still need another pit stop. So last place and a lap down on the entire field as Jason just goes past him as well there on the track map.
Ah, that's a big shame for the Wizards. Just looking at the standings though, obviously with QRS 1-2 at the moment, and Roberto, the highest place, was in 8th, and Winslade down in 13th. It's not going to be a massive points haul for them.
I think this will definitely go around as a drop round for Winslade there.
Yeah, well, don't they get 2 drops for the season, right?
Yes,
out of the 8 races.
Exactly.
So it's your best 6 results. So you can afford to make a couple of mistakes, but any more than 2 and you'll be in trouble. Focusing back in the battle.
Yeah, absolutely hounded by Dan here, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Feels sort of spread out now, hasn't it?
Yeah, everyone's sort of settled into rhythm. It's obviously notoriously hard to follow in these F3 cars with the aero wash. There's a lot of sweeping fast corners in this, so you just get the aero scrub and the gaps start to open up quite quickly in these.
They do indeed. You know, if someone's battling, the guy in front will say thank you very much and off they go. They're long gone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was just wondering about Dan. Do you think he's just sitting behind Roberto, putting the pressure on, waiting for a mistake, rather than actually trying to force a move? Long way to go still, of course. That would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? There's obviously, as you said, a long way to go in this race, and they've got about 4 seconds to find to catch up to Chris in front of them. So I think they should play it smart and try and work together, you know? Just slip through each other, and don't fight the moves. I think if you start fighting the moves, you're going to cost yourself 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 seconds, you know? And before you know it, the field's gone. Well, exactly. It soon adds up, doesn't it?
Us. Heading into Tamburello. Who's that? I think that's Dan off there. That's Dan off. Oh no, that's a shame. That's going to allow Chris Forrester to catch up and Rich. So Dan was supposed to be piling the pressure onto Roberto, and instead has made the mistake himself there. I wonder if they were going side by side, and he's just outbraked himself. I'm not too sure. Couldn't really tell from that camera angle. See Gareth in the background there, back out on track, but like we said, a lap down on the whole field there. Oh, Koenig must be the biggest move of the race. Look at that, 7 places. Yeah, that's a really good performance for him. Really good performance. And Eric really as well, in 5th place right now in his first race with us. Very impressive stuff. Quiet one for Joe so far. Climbing up the order into 4th there. Not really seen him on screen, but quietly just plodding away, turning the laps. Well, rumour has it, I've heard Joe's got some new pedals, so maybe that's affecting his performance. I'm pretty sure he's got an upgrade, so let's see if he can push for the podium. He's got about 2.5, 3 seconds to battle James. Let's see. Long way to go in this race. Part of the upgrade squad, eh? I think that's the money pit that we call sim racing, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely. And that's a big lock-up from Chris there. Whoa, did you see that one? Heading into Ravaxas. Yeah, that downhill braking zone, and it's a tricky one. It's definitely a tricky one. You've just got to really gently tap it, but let's see what Winslade can do. Obviously, he is a lap down, and if he is faster, he can pass him. Let's see. I don't think Chris is going to fight this one here. I might be mistaken. Let's see. No, he lets him go.
Yeah, so we saw from the qualifying times that obviously Winslade hasn't got pace over the field, so yeah, that makes sense for Chris to let him go and hopefully tag onto a slipstream. Maybe Winslade will help pull Chris back up towards Koenig.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We know the slipstream is very powerful in these cars, so let's see. But it looks like Winslade's already started to gap him.
He'll be so angry after that mistake there.
I bet he's absolutely kicking himself. Honestly, I'd be furious at that, but it's easy to do. But just looking at the gap here, where is Molarin? He's vanished. He's 7 seconds up the road. Unbelievable.
Do you think he purposely qualified down the order just to give himself someone to race? You know, just to give him something to do through the race there?
He could have done, but why wouldn't you try and go for the Grand Slam? I think that's everyone's dream. But who's that off in the background? That's Chris again. We saw him struggling with the brakes. That was another lock-up. Look at Winslade. He's hounding Koenig here, right onto the back of him almost instantly.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, hasn't he? Especially over this midfield battle here. Like, Winslade's just slicing through the field. It's a shame for his race, really, that he is the full lap down, because it would have been great to see the recovery drive.
It is unfortunate. Just look in there. We see him, the back of shot. We see Roberto's in a CC Racing sandwich. What a move from Winslade.
I didn't think he was getting it stopped then. I didn't know if Koenig had seen him, and I thought he was going to turn in, and I thought Winslade was about to T-bone him then.
Thankfully not. We don't want any more incidents, but let's see. Koenig hopefully can just tuck up in the draft and run behind him. But no, he pulls out. Is he going to fight him? I don't believe this. No, surely not. Heading into Tamburello.
Looks like he's got the straight line speed over Winslade there.
He's done it. What a move. He's back in front.
Move.
Incredible.
Who's that caught up to them now, though? Chris is back in the battle, like we said.
Oh, don't make it too hard, Winslade. Forces Koenig wide. Oh, and who's
Chris
that off? No. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, and the same mistake.
He's done exactly
the same wall.
Oh, I don't believe it. The same mistake that Winslade did. Oh, that's a shame. Oh no, what has happened to CC Racing? That's both of the guys within a couple of corners making mistakes. Oh, that's
Thankfully
really
for Forrester, the mistake was slightly less. He's still got 4 wheels on his wagon, but yeah, the demise of CC Racing in 2 corners in a row. That's a nightmare.
That's gifted Roberto a place there after the mistake, but that's a huge blow for the guys. What a shame.
So Koenig's still holding on strong in 6th there.
What do you think of that one?
Potentially,
not too sure.
But if I think for me, Koenig kind of was a bit of his own downfall there by fighting back. Obviously,
Okay.
Winslade's chased him down. Obviously, we know he's a lap down, so you could argue that he shouldn't be getting involved in a way, but he clearly had pace over the field.
I think we're just going to see a repeat. Oh no, we're just going to see the mistake. Wallop straight into the wall. That's a toe job, unfortunately. Needs to be moved off the racing line.
Yeah, there's just no forgiveness, is there? As soon as you get on the gravel there, it just sucks you into that wall.
Not. Just like the grass, we know what the grass is like. The grass is ice. Death grass is
death grass, absolutely.
That's the one.
But yeah, so we saw Koenig sort of drag back past Winslade and sort of went side by side for a couple of corners in a row, and that just allowed the entire concertina effect, which eventually got Chris offline. And yeah, I think if Steve Koenig had just sat in behind Winslade, could have helped. Winslade could have helped him to pull away from Chris, and everyone would have lived happily ever after. But it's not the way it played out.
Yeah, not the way, unfortunately.
I mean, it's great news for Winslade because that'll probably put Chris Wight back on the same lap as him, so he'll
I was
someone
just about to say,
Winslade's
battling for the wooden spoon here, isn't he? He'll be battling with Chris. Obviously, Chris is towing. And the fact... Well, they did it in the same place, so I was going to say the tow time might be different, but of course they did it in the same place. So how long is the tow? About 2.5 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. It's calculated based on your own lap time, isn't it? Which I didn't know until recently.
Oh, right, okay. I never knew that.
It's something like an average of your lap time plus a percentage. So if you've been setting really fast laps, your tow time would be quicker than someone that had been doing slow laps.
That's really interesting. You learn something new every day, and I've been in iRacing for a while. I didn't know that one. We just caught a glimpse of our leader there, Ture Molarin, well out front. What's the gap? About 9 seconds. Looking at Dan Hill and P9 here.
Oh, Molarin's already on his way to Phillip Island, isn't he?
I think so. I think you're right there, yeah.
He's past go, he's collected his 200. Yeah, he's collected his 200 and he's on his way.
Right on, yeah.
Just interested to see Chris Wight rejoining and just watching Gareth on the map there and seeing how close they are together.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. Just watching the battle for P6 here.
I would expect Winslade to go ahead of him, and he is just about to do there. Simply because Winslade's lap times since this tow have been quite fast. So just get back ahead of Chris Wight now. Into pits for Forrester.
For Chris Forrester. I wonder if he knows he's got his fast repair. Oh, there we go. Chris White's car has repaired and he's back out. CC Racing swapping.
Now, Chris Wight on the on the contrary to Winslade's crash, Chris will have been able to fuel up for the finish, I think, for this point.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So yes, they're now
Forrester
on the same lap and battling.
What do you think? Well, the CC guys maybe doing a bit of tactics and they're going to slipstream each other.
Potentially.
Let's see what happens.
That would be a good shout. Or maybe Forrester just wanted to get out of the battles, just set some hot laps now and see where he gets from the undercut there.
That's very true, yeah. Looking at James here, sitting pretty in P3. He's got Barlow about 2 seconds behind him. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, the pair of them not really had much screen time today, just going about the business, just getting those laps, keeping it clean, doing a good job.
Exactly that's the way to do it. Just run the laps.
Unlike these two, still bickering.
Absolutely, but I'm just watching the deltas coming down. Their lap times, they're struggling here because Dan Hill is just closing in. Obviously, he's in clear air, so he can push. He can see them battling. He knows that this is his chance. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing better to see when you're a few seconds behind a pair of guys and then you start seeing them going side by side. It's the best feeling because you know that you're going to start to close back up then.
Yeah, exactly that. Honestly, you can just see them. I think that's on morale boost. You know, when you can see the guys ahead. You know, you can catch it, you put pedal to the metal and you push that throttle pedal even harder to get it past the 100, you're going 110, 120%.
It's like, was it Marshall amplifiers when they made the amp that had the number 11 on the dial rather than 10? Didn't actually make it any louder, but you could turn it over to 11.
Side by side into Tamburello.
Oh, great
Koenig
move.
clipping the bumps. But what a move from Roberto. I thought Koenig was going to lose it there. Those nasty speed bumps are horrendous.
Oh, big lock up on the way into pits there.
What's Forrester doing back in the pits? Maybe... Did he forget to take fuel?
Or is it a penalty?
What's going on?
We said about only being 12 X's.
It could be speeding in the penalty. Speeding in the pits. So 40-second stop and hold. That's a big blow. Let's see.
I'd never considered the speeding, to be fair, but yeah. It's just a drive-through. So maybe incident penalty. It might be a drive-through speeding. It's possible, though, isn't it? It's only a 12x limit, like we said.
Yeah. Just seems quite early on in the race. But yeah, that's a good shout. Only 12x to play with. That's 3 4x's and it's game over. But a 4x in this car, unfortunately, I think is well,
that's game over anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. Right on, yeah. So and here we go. Look, the battle rages. What did I say? Dan Hill has caught up. He must be rubbing his hands together, being like, "Keep this battle going, guys." Right with them now. Yeah, that'll absolutely. His eyes will have lit up, like we said when he saw him battling, and now he's right on the back of Koenig. So it looks like Jason Weaver just had an off-track moment, but I think he's taking his pit stop now, Jason, as well. So yes,
he's up to 11th.
Dan Hill opts to come into the pits.
So maybe felt like he was going to get held up by the guys battling, and again, just going to try for the undercut on those two.
Or just realise, it's not, as you said, not worth battling and doesn't want to get any incidents. Maybe he knows he's got high incidents at the moment and he just needs to play it safe and just run the laps. So absolutely. He knows he's going to come out in clear air because look at the track map. They're all quite spread out now. It's quite nice.
I don't think Dan Hill stopped in the pit lane there. I think that was a drive-through.
Oh.
I just kept an eye on his little blob on the map there, and he drove past Winslade's pit stall, and I think Winslade, having been the pole position, would have been stall number 1. I think Dan Hill just drove straight through.
Oh, so that's the incident count. Okay.
So already bitten a couple of them then. This is Jason Weaver.
Whoa!
They were those bumps that you said about.
As I said, didn't I? Those bumps. Kept it out of the wall, but it's costing him a bit of time. Hopefully he can get it back going again. But look at this battle for 3rd place. Barlow now under a second. Let's see what he can do.
So
He's just going to get closer and closer with the slipstream, right? Oh, no,
well.
James opts to pits. Oh, he was going to get closer and closer with the slipstream. He'll now be ahead because James comes into the pits.
So potentially Barlow just taking it steady through the start of the race, maybe saving his tyres, and maybe he's got more pace in the tyres at this point.
Yeah, he's just done his personal best, which is a 39.1, so now it's hammer time. Let's go. See if he can jump Carter as a result of him pitting. And I'm pretty sure James's car that was in the air, so do you think he's taken tyres?
That would surprise me if he had, but it's possible. Definitely possible. We've seen before if people have forgotten to uncheck the box or maybe wanted the tyres by choice, maybe feeling that they were getting a bit past the best.
Side by side into Tamburello again. Sorry to cut you off. This time,
Whoa.
No! Oh, I was going to say they made it through, but did Roberto manage to save that?
Yeah, I think just a little bit of a wide off-track moment. No harm, no foul, but Koenig gets back past him again then.
The battle continues on.
For a man that calls himself the world's fastest backmarker, he puts some moves on some people, doesn't he?
He does, absolutely. Looking at Eric here, sitting nice in P4. Up 5 places, very nice on his first LOA race. Really nice to see.
Nice strong showing for Eric. I know he's been driving quite a bit of open wheelers throughout his time on iRacing. He's hopped between the F3, the Formula Renault 2.0, and I think he's jumped into the F4 this season as well, with that new release, of course.
Maybe an F4 league inbound, who knows, we shall see.
Heard it on the grapevine.
I did indeed, but I think the goal for Limited Adhesion is to obviously progress up, so we did the FR2 a couple of seasons ago, in the second season of F3 right now, and then who knows, maybe Formula 3.5, what would you think?
It started with Skippy as well, didn't it? So started
right with going way back, we got Radical before that.
Yeah, indeed. So the open wheelers have progressed through all the pace differentiating cars.
yeah, definitely.
Rich's blob goes red on the map. Potential off-track moment there. Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky because generally I find with the open wheelers, the faster you go, the more spread out the pack gets through a race.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd sort of much rather
factor,
the pack racing. That's why the touring cars tend to be so good racing, because they stay close together the whole time. There's not aero wash, you know.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
But then the F4,
see what happens.
We've seen that with the F4 so far in the public servers. The races are very close. There's not the big aero wash. The cars do stay very close together throughout a race. So there's some great battling, but with lots of cars being close together on track, the appropriate level of carnage to go with it. So.
Too many variables is the answer to that. That's not our decision. Let's see what happens. But if you are interested in racing with us, then do come and check us out and check our links below in the description.
Roberto absolutely hounding the back of Koenig as he gets well sideways through Aqua Minerale there.
Koenig must be pushing that throttle pedal as far as it's going to go, honestly. Just trying to get away, but the slipstream is just pulling Roberto in. Let's see what happens here.
These two must be having a right blast. They've just been swapping positions ever since Koenig got caught by... it was Chris Wight originally, wasn't he?
Yep.
Koenig's just been hounded for most of the race.
Eric's decided that now is the perfect opportunity to stop. Let's see if he takes tyres. What do we think? Tyres? No tyres? What's the right strategy to call here? 29 lap race, what would you do?
I think you can last on a set of tyres. I think for the time that you lose, and then coming out on the cold tyres, we've seen how treacherous the opening laps can be on cold tyres.
Here we go. Roberto stays out. Koenig is the first one to blink and comes in. That battle is going to be raging again. Hopefully, let's see what happens here. Let's see if the car jumps up in the air.
Yeah, it's going to come down to pit strategy and pit performance then between the guys.
Well, no tyres for Koenig, I can tell you that. That was a quick 3-second splash and dash.
Yeah, Koenig and Costa. It'll be interesting to see the gap when they both have done their pit stops.
I think we'll be able to notice the gap. They should be side by side.
Well, they should be, but we've seen that before. Was it Silverstone when we were bigging up a battle between... who was that? Was it Dan Hill and... I can't remember who it was now. I can remember, but they came out of the pits and they ended up nowhere near each other.
They were like opposing sides of the track, right? We're like, oh, where's the battle gone? Someone had taken tyres and the other person had opted no tyres. And I think not taking tyres was the right strategy call in the end.
So yeah, we've seen a few battles coming unstuck, unfortunately, so far through the season, just through a poor strategy call in the pits, but let's see where the guys end up this time.
We haven't seen anyone, though, fuel saving the entire race distance. Do you really think it's worth it in this car?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I know, was it in Virginia, Chris Forrester pitted on the final lap because he thought he had to pit, but he could have made it that race, and that would have been the win for him.
That would have been the win, yeah, that's exactly right. So
there have
you don't
been
have
some
to
races
pit.
where
You
it's
only have to
possible.
pit when the tank's empty, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it starts coughing and spluttering, then go see your guys. But yeah, if you can make it on a no-stopper, then be
Right,
our
let's see,
guest.
Roberto stays out for another lap, so I reckon he should be in next time by.
Rich has stopped in Ravazza there. Gets going again.
That's unfortunate. James has obviously made his early pit stop, so he's going to be using the slipstream to try and catch up to Joe, who they were battling earlier on. So see Rich coming into the pits now.
Yeah, not sure if that was a bit of a spin, if he's knocked a wheel off his wagon there. If something, it looks straight enough, doesn't it? But yeah, he definitely just stopped in
Four wheels,
Ravazza.
so I think it's okay.
But maybe coming in on a bad lap, he thought it was better to take his pit stop now while he's already close by.
Yeah, well
and
they do have the one fast repair to use, which is quite nice. So, you know, if you do feel you got damage, the thing is you don't know if you've lost your front wing or anything. I wish that was almost like a damage indicator. That would be so useful because you don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the recent crew the inbuilt spotter updates, it does now tell you, of course, whether wheels are out of alignment or missing a front wing and stuff like that. But the one that always gets me is, especially we said about those bumpy curves through the opening chicane there.
Yeah.
If you get floor damage, you don't know about that one, and that can really affect your lap time.
And does that get repaired if you opted to use a fast repair?
Yeah, it should do. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, should do. It's iRacing, and iRacing does iRacing things.
Yeah, I think certainly there's been times when you go into pits with your fast repair still ticked and you think you've got no damage, but it'll use it up if you do have damage. So yeah, floor damage especially, I think, is one of those sneaky ones that you don't know you've got until your fast repair gets used up.
Alright, here's our race leader, Ture Molarin, with a 11.5 second gap now. Just thinking, where is everyone? What's going on?
Yeah.
Am I the only one on track?
He's driving so fast he's almost caught up with the top split race.
I think that's where we'll be
Absolutely
destined
wild.
for the next season, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I think he needs to take his title and move up a bit, don't you?
Yes.
It's not had it easy though, to be fair. We're expecting sort of 8 wins and 8 pole positions and 8 fastest laps out of 8, and yeah, he's not absolutely laughed his way to the bank.
No, he hasn't. I think a last to first for the end of season finale. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good laugh for him, to be fair. Where are we?
Yeah,
Phillip
ban
Island
him
next.
from quali. Ban him from quali. No quali for you, Ture. Starting last question mark. Let's see. Last to first might be on the cards. Who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think with the pace he's showing here at Imola.
Couple of cars into the pits. Weaver and Rich. And Stott's in. Stott in from P2.
So yeah, we'll again see if Stott manages to make up any time through the pit stop there on Molarin. Waiting for Costa's pit stop as well. I want to see where he pops out.
What do you think? Barlow in as
sorry?
well. So Barlow and Carter. No, I'm just saying Rich looked like he just had a drive through there. He drove straight through the pits.
Yeah,
So
I think
he's already made his stop.
Yeah, I think we'll start to see more and more of the drive-throughs, to be fair, with that incident limit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no! Look who Stott's behind. I hope they keep it clean.
Who's he chasing?
These two
Winslade. Magnets. They're absolute magnets.
Yeah, Winslade and Stott, magnets. They always seem to attract each other rather than repel.
Indeed. Well, they attract each other until they make contact and then they repel, normally.
Yes, there we go. That's the way to put it, using both terms of the magnet there. Very impressive. But this might help Stott. This might help Stott because it's going to put him into the draft and he might be able to eke out the gap to Barlow. I mean, not that he's got any pressure from Barlow, that's like 20 seconds, but just bragging rights.
Yeah, just make sure he's safe, doesn't it?
Yes.
Although they both did just pit on the same lap, didn't they? And Barlow is still a good 22 seconds behind, so...
Barlow has made his stop, hasn't he? Because just looking at the gaps, we were thinking Barlow and Carter would be right with each other, but Carter, I'm pretty sure, took tyres, so he's got about 4, 5 seconds to find. Let's see if these new tyres really work.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see. Costa must not have pitted still.
No,
based
I
on
don't
where
think
he
Costa's
is.
pitted.
Yeah. That's the battle I really want to see, is where Costa pops out in relation to Koenig.
Costa versus Koenig, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Is Costa versus
Well,
Carter.
Costa's got his hands full. Yeah, exactly. This is the new Costa versus Koenig battle. Costa versus Carter. Let's see. James on fresh rubber. He should be able to blast past. But then again, the new tyres obviously have to heat up. So I don't know if that's the right call. I really don't.
Well, we'll be able to see, won't we? It's sort of Carter's yardstick was Barlow, so if Carter manages to catch back up to Barlow and can make the move, then we'll say that fresh tyres was the right move. And if it doesn't, then maybe it could have been closer by not changing tyres.
Right, Roberto into the pits. Where is Stephen Koenig on the track map? He is heading towards Ravazza 1, so let's see. Oh, look at Stott and
right
Winslade
up
here, right
behind.
together. Do you see Stott? They're having a little look. I don't think that's wise. They both take the off track massively there.
Just being a nuisance, isn't he? Stott just trying to distract him.
Distraction at its finest there.
Stott will be screaming blue flags, blue flags.
Oh, just looking at the the standings there. I believe Koenig's worked his masterclass, because look where Costa is. He's down in P9.
Yeah, and it's looks like he's an entire Tamburello ahead of Costa there. It's Koenig.
And Koenig's got his hands full. He's battling with Forrester.
So yeah, great pit cycle there for Koenig. Really done a good job. Yeah, interesting that Winslade isn't letting Stott go, to be fair. He is, of course, a lap down.
Stott's dropped back a bit, to be honest with you. I think he's dropped back a little bit.
I said about the dirty air as well, though, of course.
Yeah, that is a factor. Sometimes it's better to just back off, just cool down, both mentally and, well, yeah, like the car's state. Just to cool down, reset, and try again.
Would you be fuming if you were Stott? Winslade getting blue flags but not letting you go?
Well, if we're going on F1 rules, that you should have moved up by the third zone. But Stott's not in a battle with him. If he was battling someone on the other hand, yes, I would be fuming. But if Winslade is truly faster, then he should be able to put away. So then there's no issues there.
We shall see. See how it goes.
We shall see.
Yeah, here's the battle you were shaping up before.
Forrester. Here we
Forrester
go.
versus Koenig. But yeah, Costa dropped a really long way back, hasn't he? That's unfortunate for him.
That's a shame. I wonder if he's taking tyres, just like the Barlow and Carter. And again, here we go. Heading into Tamburello. Koenig on the outside. Forrester on the inside. Oh no. Oh, bit of contact. Koenig keep it going. He's got the momentum. Makes it out of the gravel. Oh, that was unfortunate there.
Fortunately, just wheel to wheel as Molarin pulls into pits for his pit stop finally. But yeah, not ideal just to get that little bit of contact. Sort of looked like Koenig maybe just turned in a little bit early, so kind of a bit self-serving, self-penalising.
Yeah, unfortunate. As we see Stott heading towards the start-finish line, but Molarin is already on his way to
Phillip Island.
Yes, on his way to Phillip Island.
As we see Stott finally making the move on Winslade. Looks like he did just feather the throttle and let him past.
Did. That was very nice of him. Stott just set his PB at 38.5. 5 seconds now the gap, so Stott's been putting the work in.
Yeah, it was a lot more than that before the pit stop, was it not?
It was. It really was, yeah.
Wonder if there's been a mistake from Molarin along the way somewhere then.
That's why I was confused. I was looking at
like
the track
10 seconds before the pit stop, weren't we? Maybe Molarin just took tyres because he could.
Yes, maybe he's just going to cement his fastest lap point.
Yeah, just a bragging flex, I'll take tyres because I can.
Where is everyone? Honestly, I don't think he knows anyone else is in the race. And I think, just looking at the standings there, Jason Weaver has opted to retire the car. That's unfortunate for him. He's 5 laps down.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw... we didn't actually see him with damage at any point, did we? But we saw him with a couple of spins, so potentially...
We've seen 2 spins, yeah.
Yeah, potentially if one of those spins has ended up being a bit of a wreck.
Yes, smashing into the wall. That just says that's enough. So, next time out is Phillip Island. You looking forward to that one?
It's a great little track. I feel like should be used more often by iRacing, to be honest. Should Phillip
Oh, really?
Island.
Can't
Have
say
you,
I've
have
ever
you driven
driven
it?
it, to be honest with you. Never driven it. Looking forward to giving it a shot.
Yeah, it's lots of sort of fast-flowing turns, but then big braking zones as well.
Okay.
It's kind of like a nice mix of
Interesting.
fast and flowing and technical bits in between, so...
Hopefully, it's quite easy on the incident limit, because I think here, these guys are really pushing it and using all 12.
Yeah, this has sort of become the new Spa, hasn't it, as Imola?
It has, yeah. Obviously, Spa got the big changes on the off-tracks, and thankfully, it's a bit nicer. I think Imola could do the same, to be honest with you.
And the Red Bull Ring.
And the Red Bull Ring. We don't even talk about the Red Bull Ring. That's off-track central.
There's only like 6 corners on the Red Bull Ring as well, isn't there, for your safety rating? That is the
Don't
track
raise
where
there as a
safety
as a
rating,
symbol.
yeah.
Just don't raise that end off.
That's where safety rating goes to die, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you got safety rating span, you're A 4.99. Go and race at Red Bull Ring. Looking at Stott again. He's definitely faster than Winslade. Glad Winslade let him go because he's pulled the gap out to over a second now.
And I was just keeping tabs on Carter's gap to Barlow there. He's not closing that gap, so if he did take the tyres, if that was the reason for the difference after the pit stop, it's not paying dividends for him.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to the battle for P3.
It would have been a good little hunt towards the end of the race, wouldn't it?
It would. But speaking of battles, looking at the timing tower and looking at the track map, I think we got I think we got a battle for P8 again between Koenig and Costa. They're within a second of each other. And what's this? Sam Stott into the pits.
This must be a penalty again then at this point, because we've seen him take his compulsory stop, or well, his fuel stop.
Is this his third stop of the race?
Just second, I think. Just one
second. Oh, he hasn't.
fuel stop. And that's a CC Racing with a corner missing. That's Chris Wight. We've already seen him hit the barriers following Winslade. No.
Hang on.
What on earth's going on
into the
here?
box. What? Into
And
the
back
box
out again.
and
Pit exit on the screen.
Did he forget to take fuel? Can't have done.
Surely not. He's back out on track now, but he's about to lose a position to Joe Barlow, I think. So we see Koenig again being hounded by Costa. So Koenig must have made a mistake then, because he was close with Forrester, wasn't he?
He
Now,
was.
Forrester's
yes.
a long way up the road, and Koenig obviously was dropped back to Costa.
I'll tell you what it is. Koenig and Forrester were side by side into Tamburello, and obviously Koenig went through the gravel, and I wonder
Yeah,
if
of
that's just
course.
allowed Roberto to catch up to him.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, but even then I thought it was still like a fair way back, so... Yeah, I'm not quite sure there.
Maybe
but...
he was just struggling to get up to speed. Obviously, he's got dirt on his tyres and everything.
Yeah, either way,
Could be
we've got a
factor.
good little battle to finish the race with.
We do, but I'd like to see when the timing tower updates the gap. The gap between Barlow and Stott, because I'm pretty sure they're neck and neck. There we go. It's just updated. It's not much.
Yeah. I'm just
Less
looking on the
than a
map there.
second.
Barlow following Stott right close down to into Aqua Minerale there. The gap is a
Battle
little
for
bit bigger than
P2
this
is on.
battle that we're seeing on screen here, so there is a little bit of an air gap still between them, but that will really incentivise Joe, definitely.
I think Joe just blinked in and out of existence there. Lost his dot on the track map. He's back now.
So I dare say we've been watching sort of a lot of Koenig through this race in his various battles, and I think Koenig has probably just got the pace over Costa, but obviously Costa's got the slipstream now, so it's going to be really interesting to see if Costa can
Gonna
use
be
that
really
toe.
close. Yeah, absolutely. We know the toe is OP, should we say?
No, it's so powerful.
Yeah, it is. Well,
The recent
looking
F1
downhill
race,
here-
of course, they didn't even
Oh,
need
that-
the DRS. Like
No DRS needed. Unbelievable. Oh no, lock up for Dan Hill. Keeps it on the black stuff. He's all good. Keeps it on the road. But he's had a good recovery though. Oh,
Was he into pits as well?
what?
What is going on today?
Incident count? It can't be.
It must
it's
be
12x. Really? This is a big shock.
I'll be interested to see
Right,
how
let's get into
the
the
top
box.
split guys have got in. Of course, the race is happening at the same time, so
Yeah, that's right. But Dan's into the box. I don't get this. Is it stop and go? It can't be. Surely not.
just to drive through for instant limits normally, isn't it?
Maybe a special rule, lad, is.
Yeah, potentially. It only
Keep it
takes
squeaky
one.
clean, then it's alright.
Yeah, it only takes one misclick for the penalty to be more serious than a drive-through, you know. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
really?
not sure.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. So I was going to say Dan was looking good in P6. He's just slipped behind. He's got to catch Costa and Koenig, and then Forrester if he wants to return to P6 again.
Yeah, well, he's right behind this battle again now, Dan, isn't it? It's like a repeat of earlier.
Are we sure we're just not watching the same part on loop?
Maybe the video editor got bored and just showing us the same race to see if we'll notice. No, I assure you, this is lap 26 of 29, and Dan Hill is, again, going to be closing up on these guys, we expect.
Let's see if the battle continues. Koenig seems to have the pace at the moment. But, again, Costa's in the slipstream, so let's see.
Big four-wheel slide from Costa going into Piratella there. Not using all of the track on exit there. Koenig doing a really good job of using all of the track limits. Costa just playing it a little bit safer.
If you go any further than that curb, it's an off-track, isn't it? And further than that is a slowdown.
Yeah, exactly. It's the slowdown that sort of I think the driver should be most worried of. Is potentially what put Chris Wright out of the race. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Couldn't get it stopped in time.
And that was just one of those silly, slow speed, lazy spins, but once you get on that death grass, like we said about, you accelerate almost, don't you, towards the wall there?
Yeah, even if you put the brake on, it's just like iRacing inverts it, but it's like, no, you go full throttle straight into the wall.
Reminds me of the speed up strips on Mario Kart and stuff like that, you know?
It is, it's like a power up, isn't it? It's just a boost, that's what it is. Shame you can't do it all the time, because obviously you get the off track.
Yeah, using the grass to turbo boost you. We're watching kart here, but just up the road is Barlow still chasing down Stott. He's just outside the 1 second window. So Stott
really
looks to be pulling away.
Can we get a view of that, please? The camera director. I'd like to have a look.
I want an interview with the drivers. I want to see what all these pit stops have been about today.
Yes, as do I.
Koenig has stopped. Koenig has stopped in the Tamburello chicane there. There he is on screen now.
Oh no, I don't believe that. That's a shame.
That is such a shame. He'd driven such a solid race there.
I wonder if Costa just forced the mistake. And here we go, look! I've worked my magic. There we go. Thank you, cameraman. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, camera gods.
Let's see what Joe can do now. He's just over a second.
Yeah, I don't think Costa was close enough to have made contact with Koenig, so I think that's just a pressure mistake, you know?
Okay. That's all right then. Fingers crossed, because we don't want any more unforsaken pit stops.
No, absolutely. We want four wheels on every wagon from here on.
Yeah, please. Barlow about 8/10 quicker on that lap.
Yeah, that
and
gap
Eric's
is
just cruising in P5.
He knows what he needs to do, doesn't he? He's just, like we say, turning the laps away, keeping it clean, keeping it on the island.
And getting to grips with the F3 car, I think.
I think we've seen sort of Eric's race here. He's been one of the few cars that hasn't made a mistake from sort of 5th position onwards.
Okay.
All the guys behind him were still having a spin, a half spin, a double pit stop, this, that or the other, whereas Eric's just kept it clean. You know, we've not seen him setting purples, we've not seen him lighting the timing charts, but just by keeping a clean race, keeping it on track, is up to P5.
That is the way to do it, isn't it? Just keep it smooth. Steady Eddie.
It's so easy on these cars to just push that extra percent, and that percent be too much, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. What do you reckon then, as we're closing in towards the end of the race, has Joe got a chance to get past, or fight it out with Stott? What do you think?
Well, since I've been keeping an eye on the gap is growing overall. I know last lap Barlow did set a faster lap time than Stott was said, but yeah, I think Barlow's actually dropping back, sadly, from the back of Stott.
Oh, that's a shame. Right, as we cut to our leader, Ture Molarin, on lap 28 or 29, and he's got a 40-second lead. Yes,
that's wild.
40 seconds.
Costa versus Hill is still a battle that could light up in the last lap.
Looking forward to that. We're not on the last lap yet, so
nope.
Let's see.
Just chipping away at him still is Hill at the minute.
At 40 seconds, I think Molarin should pull into the pits.
Although saying that, it's Molarin that's on second to last lap, of course. Costa and Hill have still got 3 laps to go, haven't they? If you look on the track map there, Ture's almost about to lap them. That's crazy.
And there is Koenig just in front of him after his mistake. That's a real shame for Koenig. He was having such a good one.
Winslade just had a moment in Piratella there. Saw him slow on the track map. So Ture's coming round to take the white flag this lap then, with 1 lap to go for him. And Costa and Hill, as they cross the line, they'll still have 2 laps of battling it out to go. So yeah, the potential for this last lap battle, or last 2 laps battle between them two to really light up. Hill was almost a second faster that lap than Costa.
Let's see then, as we get white flag from Molarin. I'll tell you
crazy.
What, the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th is quite close, only 4 seconds between them. James is closing in, he's really closing in on Barlow. Let's see what he can do.
Maybe those tyres are starting to pay now.
It's going to be last lap antics if there's going to be any move on the cards, unfortunately. But let's see. It's going to be close. There's going to have to be a send, I'll tell you that.
Oh, look at the track map. Costa and Hill have become one. Here they are. Dan Hill all over the back of Roberto here.
Really close. Let's see. Is a move possible into very anti-outer? What do you think?
I think there's a distraction move. I think you can show the nose and try and put the guy off, but I think down into... sorry, did you say Alta or Ravazza? Either way, the chicane, no, but down the bottom of the hill there.
Chicane. Yeah, Ravazza I think is the best chance.
Yeah, down the bottom for sure. Stick it up the inside. See Molarin take the Alta for the 4-wheel drifting on the way out, but taking it cleanly for the last time there.
And is that a swap for positions? No, I think that's somebody blinking in out of existence, but the battle of Big 3 is really on now. But enough's enough, because Ture Molarin is coming through the last corner now.
Looked like another bit of 4-wheel drift there.
41 seconds out front, Ture Molarin wins and Imola. A very impressive race from Ture. Well done, Ture. And takes fastest lap on the last race.
I wondered if that's why he was pushing so much coming out of Ravazza there.
I think so. 37.439. What a lap.
I think dominant is an understatement for that one.
I don't believe it. Winslade in the pits on the final lap. What is going on? Why is he in the pits?
Is the car tracking straight? Is this a drive-through on the last lap? If it's a drive-through, he won't be able... No, that's a drive-through. You can't save it on the last lap, though. So...
Oh.
He will have...
No, he's a lap down, though, isn't he? Here's Sam Stott, though, coming across the line in P2, wiggling his way across the line. Well done, Sam. Congrats, 1-2. And Barlow. Congratulations, Joe. P3, well done. And James coming home in P4. Well, the big talking point there is, I think, tyres costing the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say so.
Well done to Eric in his LOA debut. P5, very impressive. So we look for Forrester coming towards the line, exiting Ravazza 2. But here's the battle for P7. Let's see what happens as we cut to Forrester, who crosses the line in P6. Well done, Chris. And I think Roberto's going to hold on here.
He is going to hold on. I'm surprised by that, to be fair. I thought Dan Hill was going to... I thought he was going to get the move done on the last lap, to be honest.
Roberto in P7 and Dan Hill coming across the line in P8.
Well, there you go.
There we go indeed. What did you make of that one?
Yeah, that was a mega drive from Molarin there. Some great mid-pack battle in there. Koenig has really lit the race up today. See the results on screen.
For sure. But the race results up, and it's a curious 1-2. Ture Molarin leads home Sam Stott and Joe Barlow rounding out the podium, followed by James, Eric, Chris, Roberto, Dan, Stephen, Rich, Gareth, Chris and Jason Weaver rounding out the field.
So I'm fairly sure that Winslade lost a position through that. So he was on the final lap because he'd been lapped by Molarin. He chose to drive through the pits, but he couldn't serve the penalty in full before he crossed the line, so then he still gets the post-race penalty applied. So he slowed himself down on the final lap by going into the pits. Couldn't serve his penalty, so then got it added on again, and that cost him 10th place. As we see the championship from 3rd place onwards. Oh, here we go, up to the top. So Ture Molarin maintains his lead at the top momentarily. Hello.
Oh,
come back.
Where's the standings gone? Come back, please.
It was me, I cursed it. Over to you, I cursed it.
And Molarin, as we said, on top 313 points, followed by Roberto, Gareth, rounding out the top 3. So the Wizards in 2nd and 3rd. Then we've got Chris Forrester, Dano, then we've got Dan, Rich, Sam Stott, James and Chris Wight rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Barlow's moved up a position as well with that good result there. He's on 106.
He has. Yeah,
Tim McKeever was not seen for a few races, have we?
Yeah, Dano was missing tonight, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah, it was. And Eric straight up to 14th place, 40 points on his debut. Great showing for him.
Nicely done. And looking at the team championship standings, Ture now take top spot on 457, followed by Wizards, and the Backmarkers in P3, CC Racing, City Aguri, Jet Speed Racing, Atomic Racing, the Slowpokes, Team Hemp Together, TRH Simsport, Team FET, and the B Team, rounding out our team's championship.
Yeah, no Jake Weaver tonight for...
No Jake, but the battle for first and second in the team's championship is definitely on. The Wizards need a strong result at Phillip Island if they're going to have any chance.
I think that was shaping up to be a mega result for the Wizards, with Winslade taking the pole, but yeah, it didn't happen.
No, it didn't, but thank you very much for joining. Hope you enjoyed that one. Don't forget to check out all of our socials, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Goodbye.